Hello, everyone. This is Andrew, and I want to discuss a Halloween classic, Evil Dead. Now, this is for people that haven't really watched Evil Dead and want a quick rundown and maybe wonder if they should watch the series because, as many people for some reason don't know, there's a lot of people that don't like Halloween or just feel indifferent to it. I'm that person. And this is for people that do feel that and kind of feel a little bit bullied into watching a lot of Halloween classics or watching horror movies in general because so many people are like, I love Halloween, I love it. And I'm not that person. I'm just really not. I feel indifferent to it. But this is for people that better want to associate and talk to people that love Halloween and kind of want to try and get to know them a little bit better through Halloween. So I want to discuss Evil Dead, which is the most classic one you could get to. So I want to discuss the first Evil Dead, second Army of Darkness, and Ash versus Evil Dead. I'm not going to discuss the short film, Within the Forest, I think it's called, and the movie in 2013 that was a soft reboot continuation kind of thing. Those I'm not going to be discussing. I'm not going to really, discuss much about those. So let's discuss the first Evil Dead that was made by Sam Raimi. It was directed and written by him. The story follows, generic enough, a group of teens that are going up to a remote cabin. The main character is named Ash, played by Bruce Campbell. And you have Cheryl Williams, who is the sister of Ash, played by played by Ellen Sandwich. Scott, a friend who's played by Richard Dannemokor. Linda, who is Ash's girlfriend, played by Betsy Baker. Shelley, who is Scott's girlfriend, played by Larissa Tilly. Now, as you would expect, it is kind of generic in some sense where, there's minor spooks that are kind of there. There's some original ones, but I would say it starts off with Cheryl kind of doing an artistic drawing of a clock and her hand kind of getting possessed to write a demon face on it. Now, it gets worse when after a while the cellar door of their cabin blows open. Ash and Scott check it out and they find a dagger, a book, and a set of recordings with them. Now, the book is called, it's in Sumerian writing, it's called The Book of the Dead, which is called a different thing, which we'll get into probably in the next movie. It's called The Book of the Dead, and he finds a dagger and some recordings, obviously, again. So he plays the recordings. It's about a professor studying the book, reciting a certain verse within the book that awakens some demons, right? Cheryl freaks out. She turns off the recording, and she starts to hear a noise in the forest, so she goes to check it out. And this is where things get weird. Like, she gets raped by a tree. I'm literally, my first time watching was a couple weeks ago because I was just interested in it. And, not interested in that part, but interested in the series. And I can't even process it. Even right now, I don't know how to even process that. I just have to, I'm literally just going to bypass that at that point after I said it because I don't know how to process what happened. Basically, she gets infected. They put her in the cellar and lock her down there because she's possessed by a demon. After a while, they pretty much all get infected, right? They all get infected, except for Ash. And it's a really good psychological horror after a while because it involves Ash having to, in the recordings, having the only way to kill them is to dismember them. Not just stab them to death and that's it. It is legitimately to look at your friends who are possessed and cut them and dismember them. do you know how hard that would be to look at your loved ones just like dismember them? It's horrible. But on top of that, the demons talk, like they make fun of Ash. There's at one point where he's the only one left. They have a chance to attack him, and they make fun of him. They laugh. They sing songs. They legitimately terrorize the person. After all these things, and it's such a good psychological terror if you can really get into it. The makeup is fantastic, and it's just, it has so much lore that you can put in. It's one of the most, it's the only one in the series I can think of as the most serious one out of all of them. It doesn't, there's not a lot, too much comedy. It's legitimately like one of the ones that it's taken seriously. Now at the end, he burns some of the book. He uses the Sumerian dagger, which is the dagger that they found that can kind of hurt them. And you know, it's a tough thing because he you know, kills a good portion of them. He has to. But it's one of those things where it's such a big torture on the mind itself to have to do that. Now, near the end of the movie, you see a good reference to, you know, a good homage from, not from other shows, but other shows take this homage from Evil Dead, where he walks out of the cabin after all of them are destroyed, and you see the camera run up to his face and him yelling. And he's, you know, that's the end of the movie, is him yelling, and the camera coming right to his face, and it's supposed to be a demon or something coming at him. It's, from this movie, it's actually better than I would have expected it to be during that time. Yes, it can be stereotypical. Yes, the setup is very played out to an extent. It's very generic, stereotypical kind of thing, but once you can get past the setup and get past some of the little minor scares, you can kind of see things that are, you know, more original about it, or at least more different about it. The tree scene, the characters kind of laughing, making fun of him, the way he reacts when he sees a person get murdered in front of his eyes, and just seeing how he reacts to it, where he's frozen in place because he doesn't know what to expect anymore. It's a good watch to get into. It's one of the first in the series. It's really good. And if I had to make my claim right now, I would say this in general, from the makeup to the story point, the story point is really good. For the rest of the series, you can expect more light, more Joe Cardi things, more slapstick into it. But this one, yeah, it's a good watch. It is a good watch to watch with your friends or watch by yourself eating popcorn. It's a good classic movie, and it's something I would recommend. So I hope your day is as awesome as you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.